Welcome to the Verdin Verdict Sports Show. I'm your host, Jacob Verdin. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Got a nice little show for you today. We're recording it. We're not live. On the road for work right now. Had to go a little bit earlier, so I had to move some things around, but the show must go on in a little different way. As per usual, drop the thumbs up. Can't pop your questions up live on the stream, but if you still drop them below, we'll go through them, update it. If you want to talk about anything specific, Wednesday, Friday, whatever the case may be, we'll get right to it. Let's jump into the Sam Leavitt tape review, though. Got some highlights that I want to pop up and go through QB1's footage, kind of what you can expect from him, some of the narratives going around him. We'll break down LSU baseball season, how it's over with, the collapse, some other college football games that I'm excited to see as well. So for Sam Leavitt, first things first, a lot of people are giving their takes on the film. That's kind of what made me want to go in and look through some things. A lot of people have main concerns and, some sidebar concerns as well. The number one thing everyone wants to talk about is the Liz Frank injury, the health, the recovery. What's his timeline to return back to full contact drills? Looks like he's on pace to be 100% cleared by fall camp. Several reports have said so. He's expected to make a full recovery for week 1, which is good news. You held him out most of spring football, really. You saw him for a few weeks. Nothing big, nothing in the teams, nothing in the 11-on-11s, just really stuff versus air, smaller indie drills, and then naturally you get the pins out of the ankle or the foot, and he missed the rest of spring, which some people were worried about. And a lot of people were kind of like, man, the offense doesn't look great. What are they going to be able to do when Sam Leavitt comes back in? So we'll address all those concerns as well. Now, in terms of what you did in the spring to take advantage of the moment, of course, Lane Kiffin use it as time to develop the backup quarterbacks. You saw Longstreet, Landon Clark, had a blessing in disguise moment with that one because those guys aren't always going to be able to get the lion's share of reps against the ones in defense or alongside the ones on offense with the top receiving core, et cetera, et cetera. It helps because all boats rise. And that's another one of the side concerns that people have about Sam Leavitt is his performance against SEC defenses and his performance, how in the Big 12, it wasn't a competitive schedule. You didn't really have to get tested that often in the SEC. Things will flip instantly. But I got a devil's advocate approach to it because the jump to the SEC, sometimes I feel like it's a little overrated. The jump to the SEC, you got to keep in mind, he's still playing with SEC teammates. His offense is still SEC caliber players, receivers, halfbacks. And in his instance, he's got a plethora of them. In the running back room, obviously Harlan Berry, Caden Durham, Dylan Jones making his presence felt. Wide receivers, Winnie Watkins, Chase Brown, Jackson Harris, Phillip Wright, and more. Trudez Green in the tight end room. The offensive line, headlined by Jordan Seaton, the number one offensive lineman in the entire transfer portal this past cycle. Multiple $1 million value player. Those things don't worry me as much because like comparing his growth at Arizona State, it's not the same situation. You don't have Charlie Weiss Jr. You don't have Lane Kiffin in the system. You don't have all the support staff around him. Not to mention the level of talent changes. Sure, you play tougher teams and, more competitive schedules and tougher opponents, but you get to do that with tougher teammates, with more quality teammates that you're going to be playing alongside with. And it's just something I think we forget. So that question, how does he respond to the SEC, the jump, and the defenses and all this good stuff? I think sometimes people handle it swimmingly. If you're John Mateer, or Trinidad Chambliss, there's a bunch of other examples as well. Sometimes you're able to step up and nothing really changes for you. Maybe the speed of the game a little bit, but you can adjust to it. There's a couple of extra checks that you can look at. There's a couple of extra keys. Most of the time, especially in a Lane Kiffin system, they know what's happening before the play even snaps. They know what the defense is doing. They know where their spots are. And I think Sam Leavitt will be able to capitalize off of that greatly, especially with some of the things that he possesses. The quick release, the fast twitch throw. Of course, you have the ability to extend the plays and scramble and do all this good stuff and make the defense have to cover more. But I think he's got the Jimmy and Joes around him as well. And then also for fall camp, too, you're going to get to look a good glimpse into Sam Leavitt and how this offense is, even more so than spring, because in fall, the contact's coming. The running backs are getting hit through the holes. The linemen, offensive line versus defensive line, wide receivers even, a little more contact. So it's going to be even more of a test than just seeing the quarterback one get put into the system. It's also seeing them live, actually having a pass rush, actually having people run through the gaps and pop a running back or whatever the case may be. It's going to change. And I would imagine we still get the same access for fall like we did for spring. So we'll be there. We'll have all the highlights and all that good stuff for you. But yeah, I would say that Jordan Seaton investment, that thing gonna have to pay off, bro. You're gonna have to protect Sam Leavitt. If he gets hurt, if he gets banged up, I'm not saying that the backups are, bad, but it's in us. They're not ready to take the stage yet. That would be a situation where the ceiling instantly shrinks for LSU, hypothetically, if Sam Leavitt is hurt. So that's why it's the biggest question. That's why it's the main thing everybody's talking about. We want to check out a few moments, though, of his in particular, just to show you what you'll be working with potentially at LSU and Lane Kiffin as well. Got this one where he rolls out. This is a demonstration of the mobility, right? And then Saints fans are about to see Jordan Tyson on the field. He is on the sideline, though. Just a little worrisome, but this ain't a Jordan Tyson video. Sam Leavitt climbing up in the pocket a little bit, letting one rip a little bit over. Now, it's not a horrible ball. Little bit too much juice on it, though. They're going to replay this one. Comes across the field, defender behind him. He had space. I think it's just, little touch off here. He's got a great pocket awareness. He's able to extend it, knows everything's covered. He's going to break away and make something out of nothing. And he does that a lot. Now, he's not going to be a quarterback where you are going to put him in a draw system or, okay, Sam, you're 100% running it on this play. It's more so him scrambling and making the play live on whenever it's potentially blown up. In the face of pressure right here, stands, lets one rip, bangs it outside, gets caught right before the end zone, but still explosive breakaway play. Look at it one more time here. You had that defender come through the gap. He kind of trips up a little bit, but Sam's able to take advantage of it, and he will have a lot of pressure in his face this year against these SEC defenses, no doubt about it. This is an instance where it's a quarterback design run. It's a goal line situation, though. It's a few yards to get in the red zone. I could see some things like this, but I just don't see it happening, at the 50-yard line or something like that. I don't know if that's necessarily the skill set or the bag that he possesses. Not saying he's not mobile. He's very mobile. It's just more so that it's a different type of athleticism, right? I mean, I don't want to have to compare him to Jaden Daniels because this is a different Arizona State to LSU pipeline, but he's more of he's elusive, but it's more whenever the play is developing downfield and he's taking advantage of the DBs with their backs turned. That's more the situation that it kind of seems like. And not to say that they can't put him in a draw or they can't put him in an option set, just to say that there's a couple of different ways you can utilize those legs. This one, he stood in the pocket and led that one bang in the face of contact, got hit whenever he let it go, still was able to make something work with it right here as a little rough play. That's some of the pressure that he's been facing all game when you see some of these highlights in this one particular Big 12 title game a few years back. Here he is, still elusive, still making defenders question wherever the hell he's about to pop up. And I know a lot of people are going to say this is the Iowa State game. We will be looking at another game as well. This is Sam Leavitt versus Texas Tech, number 7 in the country, one of the best defenses in the country as well last year. They were a playoff sleeper. We want to know how he would do versus tough teams. This is a tough team last year for him. Finished with 300 yards, 1 touchdown, no picks, kept it clean. You see him right here extending that play in the face of pressure, still letting one rip, still heaving one down the field. Sam's the type of guy you're going to have to get him down because he's still going to create. He's still got that playmaking ability where he will extend and find something. If you give him the time, he will utilize it to its fullest extent. And in the Lane Kiffin system over here at LSU, surrounded by weapons, I'd imagine that time just takes a little bit less. Little bit less. Here he is again. Little play action. Sitting in that pocket, letting it rip. Similar situation. Yeah, you got the flag on the play, but Sam Leavitt can be patient and trust his arm and have that progression where he's going to look through and give everybody a read. He's not going to just break it down after one play and try to get out of there. He sat there and surveyed the entire field, and he found his open man. Regardless of having to take a lick in the pocket, he's not afraid of that. He's taking one for the team, bro, and that's exactly what you need in this system. Sam Leavitt once again climbing the pocket, showing off that athleticism, the elusiveness, getting the first down, and then some. Rodriguez having to come over the top of him, and Rodriguez on a spy. That was one of your top linebackers in this entire draft prospect class. That happened last season. A lot of people have a lot of good things to say about him. Right here, Sam Leavitt just, kind of took advantage of him a little bit. So it's going to be an exciting year for sure. Let's talk about this baseball team real quick. Not as exciting of a year. The regular season ended after a rough outing versus Florida. You finished 29-27, 9-21 in the SEC. You got swept by Florida, which is 5 sweeps this season for LSU baseball. It's rough. Dagger to the heart. Twisted 5 times, matter of fact. Terrible into the year. You do have to give Jay Johnson credit. He's a great coach. I mean, even in the last game of the Florida series, it's senior day. You're putting out, 3 seniors on the mound, 8 pitchers total in that whole entire outing. Still giving tribute to your guys, even in a rough spot. And I know you already lost a series at that point. Game 3, you were already down 2-0. There wasn't really light at the end of the tunnel. All you got is the SEC tournament, which happens on Tuesday. So, tip of the cap to him to be able to handle that one in that moment. You still give up 5 home runs. So the 8 pitchers on the mound that's a confusing spot because you don't have anybody you can really lead through consistency with. That's kind of been the story all year, whether it be injuries or just lack of pitches hitting spots and the other team's bat being hot and being able to push LSU into a rough spot in terms of answering a lot of runs, being down by a large amount. Back-to-back series with opponents reaching 11-plus runs in every single game. 6 games in a row it's happened. Georgia, 3 games of them getting 11-plus. Florida, 3 games of them getting 11-plus. Absolutely insane. Yeah, Cade Arambidi with another multiple home run game. Don't matter. Giving up 5 homers is going to be the entire message of that story that really summarizes the whole year for LSU baseball. Yeah, it's been brutal. And then in 2 of the 6 games that you gave up 11-plus, 6 in a row, 2 of them you're mercy ruled, man. It's rough shit. The SEC tourney starts on Tuesday. Every single team makes it. So, Hoover, here you come at this point. Tigers, number 14 seed out of 16 SEC teams. You play number 11 Oklahoma at 8 p.m. on Tuesday. Winner go home, single elimination. Not a series. If you lose, it's over with. Season done. LSU baseball kaput. No more worrisome moments. No more travesties on the mound. You don't have to witness it anymore for better or for worse. And then in terms of your matchup at Oklahoma, you did play them this year. You lost a series. You only won game 1. You lost game 2 and 3. And in terms of the NCAA tournament, too, 0 hope pretty much. You got to win the whole damn SEC tourney, which is not happening. If you beat Oklahoma, you got number 6 Auburn. Well, you didn't play this year, but somehow, let's say you beat those 2. Then you got number 3 A&M, who swept you like 2 weeks ago or 3-4 weeks ago, roughly a month ago, all in all. Not that much further out of the grand scheme of things. It's a pretty recent series. A bad taste in your mouth, yeah, of course, but I don't think LSU is in a spot to be able to make a run. And if they do, hats off and surprise everybody. They surprise everybody in the boot or in the whole damn country if they're going to string something together in that SEC tourney. I don't think they will, though. Jay Johnson talked about Milam here in the one more year chance, and he had this quote that I thought was pretty interesting. I don't think 30 teams will mess it up. Talks about he's going to get $2 million because of the MLB draft, and it just got me thinking, bro, imagine Jay had that NIL. I'm not saying he doesn't have NIL, but imagine he had the NIL where, okay, cool, a top draft prospect wants $2 million. Let's get him $2 million. Let's cut that check. Shit, we saw what the expected value of the whole LSU football roster is $42 million. There's quite a few players on that team making $2 million. Allegedly, supposedly, based on those numbers, which I'm sure are overinflated. But you still got some players, a couple of them. So if LSU baseball, who's won 2 of the last 3 natties as of right now, had the resources of let's say, even half or a quarter of what LSU football had. I know they're not getting all of it. That ain't what I'm asking. I don't even need 50% of it. But if you give them a quarter or a little bit more than a quarter, because at 42, exactly, it'd be about 11. So you need a little more than a quarter. You probably need like 30%. If Jay had that, bro, he'd cook. And that's got to be a point of contention this offseason with him, with LSU, with the brass. I know that the fans put together some money and stuff, and that effort, it definitely means something, but he wants the school to commit. They're bringing in all these top coaches. They're bringing in all this top talent. He need a bigger NIL budget because he's the coach that's produced. He's the coach. Yeah, you're bringing in all these top guys. He's delivered already, though. Twice. 2 of the last 3 years he's delivered. So I think he's due for a little bit of a resource inflation. Some NIL inflation for Jay Johnson. Call it the Jay Johnson tax, baby. That's what it is. The Jay Johnson tax. Before we get out of here, I want to talk about the college football schedule. Some early season CFB games on the agenda. Week 1, of course, headlined by yours truly, LSU and Clemson. Some okay matchups. Nothing too crazy. Week 2, it'll switch into a little bit better slate. The slate kind of picks up. It kind of speeds up a little bit. You got Ohio State at Texas, Oklahoma, Michigan, Oregon, Oklahoma State. Now, Oklahoma State, it's a little interesting matchup because that's Messmaker transferring over there. That's a North Texas guy from last year. He's an underrated quarterback prospect as well. Then clearly you have Ohio State and Texas. That's a banger. Buckeyes down in Austin for a rematch. That's week 2. College game day will be there. And Arch Manning's in his prove-it year, bro. Like he could have one more year left in the tank. Hypothetically, if it doesn't all go his way, he might have one more year left in it. But if things go the way he plans, at least, he's probably off to that NFL pretty quickly. I'd have to guess. Who knows, though? And then in the week 2 spot, ULL on the road at USC. Southern plays Houston. Good luck, guys. Yeesh. 2 rough draws. La Tech at LSU, so this one should be nice and easy. You had them week 2 last year as well. Same situation, but hey, the more the merrier. I'll take a week 2 easy game. Not going to lie to you. Now for LSU and Clemson. This one's a little interesting. We talked about this one as well. Game of the week by far. Got the Lane Kiffin debut. This is the perfect spot to put this. Week 1. College game days coming in. You know, you have college game day week 3 in Oxford for the Lane Kiffin homecoming. But this is the Lane Kiffin debut, man. The inaugural Lane Day in Tiger Stadium. How does it feel? He's back in his new environment. This is the decision he made. How does he feel about it? It'll be an interesting one. Of course, we're not going to give any predictions. We're going to be waiting for that one. But a nice slate to look forward to. You know, you got some names, you got some things that are kind of up on the agenda. You're getting close to it. Let's see exactly when kickoff is. So, September 5th. And then how many days until September 5th? As of right now, about 110 days out. Almost less than 100 days. You got a summer, got a little bit of fall camp. Hopefully Sam Leavitt makes some strides. And then all in all, you're on the fast track to hopefully the college football playoff. But we'll see. It's a long season. There's a lot of things in between. You know we'll be covering it. You know where to come to. Hit that thumbs up. We're out of here. This has been the Verdin Verdict. I'm your guy, Jacob Verdin, and I hope you'll have a good rest of your day.